The knock came just as I was finishing my presentation for the quarterly meeting. 3 sharp raps. Measured, deliberate, carrying the authority of someone who knew exactly what they were delivering. When I opened the door, a man in a navy suit and a calm, clinical expression extended a thick envelope. "Mr. Hale, you've been served." I stared at him, heart dropping into my stomach. The firm's letterhead, Henderson and Rowe Family Law, was printed across the top. My wife's lawyer. My wife, Emily. For a moment, the office sounds dulled. The low hum of printers, the chatter beyond the glass walls, the faint hiss of the espresso machine down the hall. Everything blurred as my fingers trembled around the papers. Petition for divorce. Allegation. Marital misconduct, concealment of assets, emotional neglect. I laughed, quietly, bitterly, because the accusations were almost elegant in their cruelty. Emily had always been articulate, even in war. The lawyer was still standing there, waiting for acknowledgement. I forced a smile. "Tell her lawyer, Mr. Rowe, is it? That I have something for him too." I reached into my desk drawer, slid out a plain manila envelope I'd kept there for weeks, sealed and ready. My hand didn't shake as I handed it to him. "Deliver this to your client," I said softly. "She'll know exactly what it means." He blinked. "Sir, I'm not." "Just deliver it," I cut him off. Then I shut the door. 2 months earlier, I'd noticed the first fracture in the illusion. A perfume I didn't recognize on her scarf, sweeter than the sandalwood scent she always wore. Her phone face down. The distant look she had when I asked how her day went, like she was halfway between 2 worlds. "Just work stress," she'd said, rubbing her temples. "You know how deadlines are." I believed her. God help me, I wanted to. The next sign came at midnight, when I caught her whispering into her phone in the kitchen. Her voice, usually light, had an edge of secrecy now. When she saw me, she flinched, then smiled too quickly. "Couldn't sleep," she said. "Didn't want to wake you. But the thing about betrayal is, it doesn't announce itself with fireworks. It seeps in, quiet as a leak, until everything around you starts to rot without you noticing." I found the proof on a rainy Thursday. Her tablet was syncing photos to our shared drive, a feature she'd forgotten about. A series of images appeared, one after another. A man I didn't recognize, standing with her outside a hotel in Chicago, her hand on his chest, his face close to hers. The timestamp was from her business trip last month. I sat there staring at the screen, rain streaking the window, feeling my heartbeat turn into a roar. My first thought wasn't rage. It was shame. Shame that I hadn't seen it sooner. Shame that part of me had expected it. Because Emily and I hadn't been the same in a long time. When we married 12 years ago, she'd been radiant, funny, ambitious, alive. I was the quiet one, always buried in work, building something solid for us. But somewhere between promotions, mortgages, and quiet dinners eaten in silence, we stopped being partners and became polite strangers sharing a schedule. She found validation elsewhere, found numbness. So I didn't confront her that night. I watched, waited, listened. And when she filed for divorce, I knew it wasn't guilt driving her. It was strategy. The envelope I handed her lawyer contained everything. Screenshots, emails, photos of her and her coworker Daniel Myers, the same man she'd sworn she barely knew. But that wasn't what would ruin her case. No, what destroyed it was the transfer records. Months of quiet siphoning from our joint account into a private one under her name. Enough to make the claim of financial concealment crumble in court, on her side. And the final nail, her emails to Daniel discussing how to make sure the prenup doesn't screw me over. The next day she called. Her voice trembled, a mix of fury and desperation. "What the hell did you do, Mark?" "I just told the truth," I said. "You blindsided me." "You served me at work," I replied, calm now. "You made it public. I made it factual." Silence stretched between us. Then quieter, almost pleading. "Can we talk? Please. Not like this." I should have said no. But part of me, the part still haunted by our wedding vows, by the laughter we used to share, agreed. We met at the cafe where we'd had our first date. She looked smaller than I remembered, her confidence cracked. "I didn't mean for it to get ugly," she said, stirring her untouched coffee. "Daniel said you'd never." "Daniel," I repeated. Her lips parted, realizing what she'd just revealed. "He told you to file first, I guessed. Said it would give you the upper hand." She didn't deny it. "Emily," I said, my voice breaking for the first time. "You could have just left." "I was scared," she whispered. You were so distant, so focused on work. I thought if I didn't make a move, I'd disappear in your life." "You disappeared long before this," I said softly. She looked at me then, eyes glistening. "Do you hate me?" "Thought about it. Really thought." "No," I said finally. "But I can't love you anymore either." The court hearing was brief. Her lawyer, pale and rattled, requested a recess halfway through. My attorney barely spoke. The evidence spoke louder than any argument could. When it was over, Emily didn't look at me. She just walked out, her heels echoing down the marble corridor like a fading heartbeat. I stood there, watching her vanish through the double doors. Didn't feel like victory. It felt like standing in the ashes of something I'd once built with my bare hands. That night, I returned home to silence. Her things were gone. Her scent lingered in the air, floral, faint, fading. On the kitchen counter sat a note. "I never meant to destroy us. But maybe we were already gone. I hope someday you find peace." I read it once, then slid it into the same drawer where I'd once kept the envelope. Closure doesn't come from revenge. Comes from knowing you survived the truth. And as the city lights flickered through the window, I whispered into the emptiness. "I already have."